Welcome back, everybody. It's Michael McIntyre, your humble host here at McIntyre Inc., the Next Level podcast with our beautiful co-host, my amazing, brilliant daughter, Brianna. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
It's early.
It is early, but I'm excited about our wonderful guest today.
I am too. You know what else I'm excited about is that you made it on time.
Okay, for the record, I do make it on time to this podcast.
Yes, that's true. You do.
But it's not.
Lunch is a different story.
It's not your Vince Lombardi 15 minutes.
That's true. It's not.
early,
and lunch is a
sorry.
different story.
Yes, sir. But we also don't usually choose the time.
Yeah, but you got to be flexible. Entrepreneurship 101.
You're right. You're right.
All right.
We're working on it.
All right. Well, listen, we're real excited to have this special guest in here in our studio. And you're going to hear an amazing story of this young lady and where does she come from and how she did it and where she's at now. So I'm really honored to welcome Katie Whitehurst. I knew I was going to mess that up.
You did it right.
That was so easy.
There's
So
not a dash
easy.
in Whitehurst.
No,
Right?
it's one.
Whitehurst.
Yeah, you just
like it sounds.
you did make it like Whitehurst.
It was dramatic. I love the dramatic entrance.
Well,
Thank
here's
you.
the thing:
Thank you.
is I'm not great at names. I know you're shocked, but you've got such an aristocratic name.
She does, but she's also an aristocratic girl.
Oh.
Yes. I mean,
She's got the vibes.
It's as they say in Europe, it's very posh.
Oh, thank you.
And I think it's really cool. So, all right. So, Katie, welcome
Yes,
to the
thank you.
McIntyre Inc.
Thank you.
podcast. I'm
Happy
so
to
glad
be
you're
here.
here. All right. So, you've got an interesting story and fantastic story, and I think our listeners want to hear it. How did you get to Texas? Because you're not from Texas.
No, I am not. I'm from small town Montana, Whitehall. It's a little truck town that I grew up in. So I have always wanted to move to Texas. It's been on my heart for a long time. And a couple months ago, actually after graduating college, I went on a little trip, tried to move at that point, and just timing didn't work, wasn't the right time. When I came across an Instagram page, actually, it's called The Faith Hustle. And so a mutual friend of Brandon
McQuenda.
Forms and I,
Yes,
McQuenda.
we're going to have him on here too.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you should. He's fantastic.
Yes.
So I came across the Faith Hustle Network, and they were doing a podcast tour in Austin. That was their last stop. It was in December. And at that point, I had taken a job. I was content, but not satisfied.
And you were in the insurance business.
I was.
Yes.
Yep. I went straight into insurance.
Property and casualty.
Property casualty. I was in
Yes.
commercial, B2B sales. So
All right. Marco.
Yes.
as an account manager. So anyway, so decided to take the weekend, made a solo trip. I just felt this draw that I just needed to be there.
To come to Texas.
To come to Texas. It was in Austin.
So you're watching this thing on Instagram and you digging this Christian deal.
Faith
going on.
Hustle.
Yes,
Faith
yeah.
Hustle,
So it's
right?
a group for Christian business owners and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And so I came across the Instagram page, and it just lit me up. I was like, this is so unique. I haven't seen anything like this that already exists.
Wow.
And so when I saw that they were doing the stop in Austin was on my heart for a long time. So I just had this pull. I was like, I need to be there. I don't know why, but I need to be there. And so the event was on a Thursday. I book a Thursday morning to Sunday afternoon trip, take PTO, I just go by myself. I reached out to McQuenda beforehand. And I'm like, hey, I'm just going to show up. I'm coming from Montana. I don't know anybody. I know you're based out of Dallas, but if you happen to have a good connection, I'm just open to it. Would love to be there. Just meet you all, see what the Lord does. And that night ended up in conversation with Brandon Forbes. And he was one of the main speakers at it was just a live podcast tour. He was one of the main speakers, and I had known of him just from being in the coaching space. I have a health and fitness background, and so thought about doing online coaching. So I knew who Brandon was, and we just ended up in a circle of conversation. And he mentioned he's getting into insurance. I was already in insurance. So from there, the idea sparked. We exchanged contacts, and he calls me in the airport. It was Sunday. I was flying back, and he said, I just feel like you need to be a part of this, like sit on it, pray on it, but I would love to invite you into this.
Awesome.
How cool.
Go ahead.
No, and from there, about 5-6 weeks later, I quit my job, packed up my entire life, moved down in my Chevy Malibu. I dumped everything. And so found myself driving down to Texas by myself.
So you've been here since
February.
Come on. All right. And so that's amazing. And not everybody does that,
No.
especially a single woman, young single woman. out of college. You went to college.
I did.
And you
yes.
studied.
business finance.
Okay.
Yep.
And you got your degree and got into the insurance business.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
And so
exactly
then you end up here. And then how did you come across 1010 Life and Legacy?
That was a connection with Brandon.
Mhm.
So you and Brandon had met, and we were feeling like we needed to make a pivot inside the insurance space.
Mhm.
And he spoke so highly of you and your character, and we had this back and forth of, okay, what's the next step here? And then just this crazy divine interaction. There was so many things.
Were you at that first filming when we filmed downtown?
Not downtown.
No, she didn't make the cut.
I didn't make
that
the
day.
cut.
Oh, you didn't make Kinsey was there.
Kinsey was
Kinsey
there.
was
and
there.
then
was there.
Sydney was there. That was our first time.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Sydney.
And that's, yeah.
And
I
who-
think that was it. And
And
then
Brandon.
later on, we went to an
At
office.
your brother's
and-
office.
Brandon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where I met you.
Okay. All right. And then.
Yes.
That was the same day.
Same day.
Okay.
Different
Oh, well,
location.
that's a different time. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And so, what's really interesting is that day you met my brother too.
Mhm.
And I remember him saying to me, hey, I met your people. He said, but there's something about that young lady.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about her. And Brandon said the same thing about you.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like is your ambition and your down to earth and your maturity at your young age. And I know
She's
that's
no drama.
no drama.
I
Right.
can attest she's
Right.
no drama.
And Brianna, y'all have been working together,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
It's
too.
been super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, and then you started working for us and doing the mortgage protection insurance, and we're getting into annuities and single premium life. And you're making sales. I mean, you're doing this thing, you're on the phone, you're doing these things, you're talking to customers. Some customers are not so nice.
That just
And some
comes with the
customers
game.
are straight from heaven, right? And you
Yes.
you manage to manage that. And what I love that you do is you're very strategic in placing the client in the right place, depending on their health, their age, their income, and underwriting. And you do it really good. And that's what we love. And so we also put you in as a training situation, right? And every time we come across a new insurance deal, we say, Katie, look at this. Does this suck or is this great? Yeah,
She's a whiz with this stuff. I don't know how she keeps it straight, but she knows the products really well, which is why she's the chief product officer.
CPO.
CPO, but also I feel like there needs to be
C3PO.
training officer as well. I don't know. There's a
And
lot.
I think we need to deem it C3PO because you are not only a great trainer, okay, you are a product developer, but you're also a great sales lady.
Yeah.
And so it's C3PO.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's coming together now.
It
Okay.
is.
Now
Now
it
we get it. The download has hit.
That's right.
Oh, that's
but
awesome.
You are what you've done is really amazing. What I like is your ambition, and you're a worker. You grind. And I know, I know we're in our local office at Brianna's, and I don't know, I was there for 3 or 4 hours. I had to go do something. Everybody was working. And it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. I texted Brianna. I said, hey, is Katie still there? She said, yep.
Yes.
She's still grinding, And I love that. So where did you get that ambition?
So my family, I grew up on a ranch.
Yep.
And it was the ranch hand work ethic that I think was instilled in me at the very young age. I look up to my dad in so many ways for that
Amen.
because he is such a hard worker.
Yep.
My mom stayed home with us as we grew up, and so he worked 2-3 jobs at a time
Wow.
to make sure that we were
Taken
taken
care
care of.
of.
And then manual labor too,
Oh, yeah.
working on the ranch. It's not an easy thing to do. So
No.
I've had a job since I could walk. I guess. They put me to work as soon as
Always
I knew
working.
how.
Yes. Yeah.
Were you the first, second, third child?
I'm the second. I'm the
second.
middle.
Okay.
I'm the middle
All right.
child.
All right. So Brianna, I know you wanted to talk about her athleticism.
Yeah. So you have a unique story, and a story that also many people can relate to. So share about your athletic journey, the highs, the lows. Like what was the best of it and what was the worst of it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because you're a big time athlete. You got a full scholarship on that. did
that's
you
why
not?
you went to
was-
school, right? Like
So my first year I was actually a walk-on.
Wow.
Okay.
I earned my scholarship based
That's
off
amazing.
of the ranking,
In your sport?
track and field.
Okay.
So I ran for 11 years.
okay.
Started in 6th grade and just fell in love
what
with
made
it.
you want to run?
That's a really good question.
Running away from chores? You ran away from the
The
work?
horse is running
part
after
of it
you.
was my stature. So I stopped growing in the 6th grade.
Okay.
And so
Oh,
usually
yeah.
with
Yeah.
I'm a short little thing. And when you look at other sports, height is generally a
Yeah.
factor that plays into that. So basketball was out, volleyball. I played volleyball for a little bit in high school, but they kept me off the front row. So
Right.
track and field is just something that because it was an individual sport,
Mm-hmm.
you could train. It showed up in how much work you put in individually. So, skill, there's some skill to it, but it's how are you training? How are you like fueling? Like what's your nutrition? Like there's so many controllables that you can manage.
Yeah.
And so if you have the discipline to do that, that's where the individual or track and field sports like that, you can really go far in because it's so specific and you're in control of that.
It's good.
That makes sense. So, okay, what were the highs of your career and what were the lows?
Okay, the highs of my career. I'm so fortunate. I'm so grateful for the years that I had. My junior year was my best competitive season. All 4 years, I was grateful to be conference athlete. I was fortunate to travel with the team. I competed in Brian Clay, a lot of these large meets down in California. But my junior year was the year where I had multiple event wins for the first time.
Wow.
And what events did you run in?
I ran the 800.
Okay.
I ran the
And
800.
so you were kind of like a celebrity on campus.
I wouldn't say, there were people on my team who were far more decorated than I was by any means, but it was
Yeah, but they weren't as
unfortunate.
cute as you.
This is true. They weren't. Yeah.
And so
They
yeah.
weren't as influential.
Yeah.
That's right.
Funny.
Yeah,
Call back.
because you're
Yes.
because you've got a great Instagram account.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. But wait, okay,
thank you.
let's go.
Yes,
Let's
okay,
go to
okay,
the
sorry.
lows. Sorry,
The lows. Okay,
yeah.
the lows would have been my last year. So after coming off the high of my junior year season, ended up struggling with some health issues my senior year. And so some malnutrition, overtraining, and that just kind of spiraled into a much deeper rooted health issue where I ended up with 15 stress fractures in both my tibias.
That's a
So,
serious deal.
It was
Yeah.
usually, only one or two. 15 was
15,
the most.
that's crazy.
I almost ended up in a field like study from the university just to see what was going on. So it turns out it's called REDS. So it's relative energy deficiency in sport. And it's a prolonged chronic energy deficiency. And so what happens in women is if you're in that state for too long, it pulls from your bone density, it pulls from
Right.
everything else. And so I
It's
didn't
different
realize
for women than men.
it is.
Yes.
It is. I mean, REDS can still affect men, but just the way that
Right.
how you catch it's a little bit different. And so by the time that I had x-rays done, it was too far gone in that sense because you can't, stress fractures take a long time to heal. I had 3 weeks left of my season. I was already struggling to keep it together really at that point because my body was very broken.
Break
Not
it down.
literally
Yeah.
broken in
Yeah.
my bones, but just my
Yeah.
energy. It just was not, I was tapped out essentially.
Yeah.
So it was not how I expected my career to end.
Yeah.
But it was just my body telling me that I was done. And I'm grateful for it because it did really pivot. It shed a light on what I needed to do to make sure that I was healthy for the long run.
Yeah.
And seeing the fractures, seeing the blood work, seeing everything that actually happened to me and the tangible numbers really, really flipped
Sunk
the switch.
in.
Yes.
So
yes.
were you expecting to go professional after this? Or did you have any thought about that? Like, what would that look like?
It was maybe in the first early years of college, it
Yeah.
was a dream. By the time my senior year hit, I needed to make a pretty big jump to really go pro. The U.S. is very, very competitive in track and field. We're one of the best in the world. So to make Team USA, it's very,
Would've
very
been a lot.
competitive.
So that would have been on the Olympics then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Team USA, and then that's-
If you
it's
make the
part of
cut,
it.
then you
Yeah.
go into the
Yeah.
Olympics.
Mhm.
So Romans 8:28, right? I mean, God uses all things
Yes.
and good for all
Yes.
things. And so how was your spirituality in that moment?
Okay, so it really opened up where I found my security and my identity. Because as athletes, it's very common for you to tie your identity to a performance, to a metric, whatever that result might be, because that's what you're trained to do.
That's what you're judged on, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And they call you machines. You're paid to be a machine. Like
Mhm.
that's the verbiage that they use.
Yeah.
But it's what you have to do to get to that level.
Yeah.
And so to detach from that really made me, I had to do some deep work on who am I
Yeah.
without being able to perform, without being able to win a race or, run a sub 210, 800. Like, who am I without that number attached to my name?
Mhm.
That was a big deal then.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And I think the injury had a lot to do with it too, because it wasn't like I just had the option to quit.
Mhm.
I was
Had to.
forced. I had to.
Yeah.
I had to. If I wanted to, I mean,
Take care of
maintain
your
my
body.
health. Yes.
Yeah,
If I wanted to
100%.
live
Yeah.
a full life, I
Yeah.
had to stop.
So with that, what would you tell young athletes?
So it's so easy to get caught up in the highs of having a good performance.
Mm.
And it's okay to enjoy that.
Yeah.
You don't have to completely detach from that, but you
Mhm.
have to have a base of understanding of, you have to have a relationship with the Lord, and you have to know who he says you are
Mhm.
before you try to create this idea and this identity for yourself outside of that. Because sports are not forever.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that's forever. A job, a relation. Well, if you're
Right.
married, but
Right. Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
but there
yeah,
are things that you can tie your identity
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
that only last for a certain period of time. And if you get too attached or just too invested into something that's not a true part of you,
Mm-hmm.
then when that thing breaks or ends or whatever that looks like, it feels detrimental to you.
100%.
Mhm.
And that's where your faith comes in strong.
Yes.
And if you get your identity from Jesus,
Mhm.
is what, Christians,
Yes.
but we all fall short sometimes, and
Absolutely.
we get into the world, right?
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
everybody's saying how great we are, and then we're not so great,
It's
then,
hard.
then we think, oh,
Yeah.
maybe they're right, So, all right. So that's really good. I love that. And I think, we've got a lot of, I've had a lot of athleticisms or athletes. I get athleticism. Fact checker on that one.
Athleticism.
Athletics, professional and semi-pro, come through the insurance industry. And I think
Yeah.
I like that. I like the sales quality
Mhm.
because insurance sales is not easy.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I mean, we make it as easy because we have leads and we have training and we make it easier than other situations. But how do you think that has helped you in the insurance industry, Katie?
Okay, so I think if you are competitive, sales is the best career to be in,
Yeah.
because it's a way that competitiveness,
Mm-hmm.
the want to perform, that never leaves.
Right.
That's
Yep.
there's a difference between having something as a part of your identity and a part of your gifting. And when you're gifted in something where you do strive for a performance or whatever that might be,
Right.
being on a sales call, it's kind of like the same thing. It's like
Right.
it's like a mini race or
Yeah.
a mini
Yep.
game or all
Yeah.
over again. And so it's the best man who's best prepared, who does the work, again, kind of like individual sports.
Mhm.
How well are you training? How well do you know your products? How well are you running through the script? Like,
That's
how well do
right.
you know your objections,
Yeah.
the customer, the client, all that. And so if you're trained to just naturally fall into that, to want that for yourself and be self-driven in that, sales can be
It's good.
a lot
It's
of
really
That's
rocking.
really good.
It's,
A lot of
it rocks, especially when
Yeah,
you got a
it does.
community.
It
And
does.
that's what we've done here and brought in a community. And I think even on I didn't even know Discord existed. I guess it's for gamers.
We're on a
and
little gamer platform. Discord.
gamblers and drug addiction people. They're on Discord. But I guess we're on here now.
We are too.
We're taking it over with the insurance space.
Yeah, but I it's kind of cool because everybody can see what's going on and
Yeah.
they can love on each other and have a good time and laugh.
Yeah.
So okay, so how's your experience been since you've been here at 1010 Life and Legacy?
It's been incredible. There's so many things that I've learned that you just don't know until you go all in on something.
Mm.
And so there's a lot of highs and a lot of challenging days, but at the end of the day, the vision that we have and the team that we're working with make me 100% confident in knowing that
Yeah.
we are absolutely going to accomplish what we
Yeah.
are set out to do.
And so with that, I think, one of I remember when we first brought everybody in, the first thing I said to Brandon, I don't want anybody to pay for leads.
Mhm.
And, that's how we built our insurance empire in the beginning, we spent a lot of money on leads. We spent $21 million on leads over that period of time. And that's how we created $3 billion worth of sales. And so insurance agents, any salesperson, no matter what you're selling, they want leads.
Mhm.
And when I met you all, you guys were paying for your own leads, putting your credit cards up, and there was a debit, and all this stuff. And so I said, we've got to make this different. And so we did. And we're now generating annuity leads, single premium life, somewhat, and then mortgage protection insurance leads. And what I love that you do is you can pivot back and forth to any one of those. You learn the products really well.
She's skilled.
She is, because we've got about what, 5 or 6 different products that we have,
at
you know,
least.
which is a deal, you know,
Yes.
and you know, I'm used to, in our first insurance deal was I only wanted to have 2 products, 2 companies basically, and so this is different, but I think what I find that's really intriguing is the vast that you can learn this stuff and you see this stuff, and every company is a little bit different. They got little nuances and stuff, so you got to be on there. But what was really amazing is how we can sell this everybody from their home, right? Because back, you know, in the prehistoric dinosaur age, okay, when I was out there selling insurance, we had to drive our butts all over or fly. I mean, I was on the road, you know, at least 6 days a week. You know, and spending $1,500, $2,000 a week for road expenses. Now that's out the window. So you're sitting there and you're doing it all this, right? And so I joke about it. I said, if I knew this back in 1985, okay, this deal, me and Elon Musk would have been BFFs, and I would have been 50% owner of SpaceX, because this is the easiest time ever to be in the insurance business. And I'm saying that because there's some people out there say, you know, I thought about the insurance business, but you know, nobody wants to be an insurance agent. Well, nowadays they do. And have you seen that in your Gen Z neighbors and
That people want to get into insurance?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah? Why do you think that is, Katie?
Because it's the business model.
Yeah,
So insurance is something that it's never going to go away.
right.
It's something people are always going to need. And it's such an easy model where you are serving a client with something that they need. You're compensated from the carrier.
Right.
It's the best of both worlds in that sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so the way that you can build it is, it just seems not easy, but it's simple.
Right.
It's simple. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's,
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It's you don't feel bad about selling the product that you're selling, first of all, which I think is huge. You know, it is needed.
absolutely.
And I think that like Gen Z has, I think there's an integrity check in Gen Z. Like they want to know that this is actually worthwhile, because they grew up, you all grew up with like this generational of being like duped with all of this fake money or fake whatever, you know. So there's kind of like, is this
Internet
real?
money.
Yeah, internet money,
Yep.
which is not real, you know.
That's
And
very
so,
true.
anyways,
Very true.
I just find it to be interesting.
No, I think it's good. I think it's really true.
Little on air
Yeah.
Yes.
recording.
Yeah, on air. This is called double on air.
I love it.
This is called multitasking at its finest.
It's called ADHD cube.
There we go. ADHD cubes.
That's okay.
I like
So
it.
we decided the other day that if you're not ADHD, then you probably shouldn't be selling insurance. So, anyways,
We're here with Katie, and we're filming this right now. It's going to
Yeah.
come out on Tuesday.
I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. We're
gonna
all
be great.
in insurance time. Yes.
yes.
All right. So,
I love it.
hey, we got it. We're just having a good time here.
That's
in
what it's all
McIntyre's
about.
in the
That's what
studio.
it's all about.
Here's I think, you know, there's, you know, back when I first got in the insurance business, the last thing you'd tell anybody that you're in the insurance business, you know, because nobody would want to talk to you because everybody think you're trying to sell somebody. But this is not a thing to sell your friend. This is not a multi-level deal. This is not a networking deal, right? Because I know there's some networking deals out there that have a bad stigma, and I think they've earned that bad stigma, you know, because that's not what we're about here. And so, and the compensation's good. People can make good money, and plus you can build up this thing called renewals. Tell everybody what renewals are.
Renewals. So that is when, once a year hits in the policy, the insurance company will pay you for the lifetime of that policy.
Yeah.
So
it's like a
as-
miracle.
As you build your book, yes, that's a good way to put it. So as you build your book, your renewals and your residuals, they
That's
start
right.
to build, and it's a slower growth. But once you look at that long-term trajectory, yeah.
And I bought a company back in, gosh, it was probably 1999. And in fact, it was almost given to me. I paid very little for it, but I took, this guy was getting out of the business. He had a long-term care business. And I get at first the renewals were really big, right? And but 1999 to today, what's that? How many years ago was that? 20 some odd years ago, 28 years ago.
Yeah.
I still get a check every month from these guys. And they put it in my account. It's automatic. You know, it was, tons of money. Now it's down to little, but I haven't.
You don't care.
I don't care. I'm surprised
comes
it
in.
shows up every month.
Exactly.
You're like,
I thought it's never going to show up again. 10 years later, it's still showing up. And that's the power of renewals. And that's
Yes.
the power of the insurance world and
Yeah.
the business. And so that, you make money up front, which is nice. Okay. But also you're building for a legacy. And we're also protecting people's legacy for their mortgage protection in case the primary earner dies unexpectedly. The kids don't have to sell the house right away. They can stay there or sell the house. It gives them that flexibility. And then if they're seniors and they have money sitting in the money market or the stock market, we can move them to a safer place for annuities. And it's kind of one of those things, it's not worried about the return on your money, it's the return of your money, because if you're 75 years old and you got $1 million sitting in a 401k and the market tanks, your horizon to make that up, you're going to need 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why and then we index these things. So it's really exciting, the times, the products today, because I was out of the business for 20 years. Sold the company, as you know, and I wasn't going to get back in this business. I didn't want anything to do with it until I met Brandon. And I said, how are you guys selling this stuff? And they said, everybody's just working from home. I said, that's crazy. And then you can get non-resident licensing all around the country with a press of a button and paying them some money, the fees. It wasn't that way back. We had to go in front of the Supreme Court and get, checked out, and Hubble spacecraft had to do an inspection on you. And then maybe you got lucky to get a non-resident
Draw your
license.
blood too.
It's all- Now there's this thing called Sure Something.
no,
Sure,
it's
NIPR.
Yeah, whatever. I thought it was Sure Something.
That's one of them. Sure, I'll see.
See?
It's one
But
of
that's
them.
different. But that has nothing to
That's
do
for
with
contracting.
but I like
That's
the
for
name of that
contracting.
better.
Yeah.
It's fine. Sure,
Anyways,
shout out.
it's easier, right?
Yeah,
and
it
that's
is.
what I I guess without being too hyped up, I think it's the easiest time ever to be in the insurance business, to make a great living and establish a legacy business and do something great for the client.
Yeah.
So, all right, so that's, and if somebody's out there and saying, hey, I want to get in, Mac, we'll talk.
We'll
to
put
you.
an email.
We'll put an email.
in the-
Yeah.
And do we actually put stuff in the show notes?
Yeah, I do every week.
We do?
Every
Okay,
time.
like last week for
Yeah,
Karim,
like last week,
we did?
You should check it out.
I tried to find this.
It would be really good if you could check it out.
Well, I don't know how to do that, so you're gonna have to show me the
Of
show
course,
notes.
I will show you
Because
the
on
show
Ben
notes.
Shapiro's show notes, I get the show notes on Ben Shapiro.
no,
okay,
they're
and I
there.
I asked Ben, how do you do that, Ben? And he does some great stuff with his show
well,
notes.
that's wonderful for Ben.
I want Ben Shapiro
Okay, so we
style
need to-
show notes.
We need to transition over to the Katie, the influencer.
Yes.
The influential person that
Yeah,
she
the one
is,
that
not
doesn't
an
wanna be an influencer.
influencer.
That's so funny.
The accidental influencer.
Actually, we have a funny story from yesterday, but I don't.
Let's-
We do.
If you want to share it, it might be funny to you. It might not be. I don't know.
It doesn't
We
matter.
gotta laugh.
I got a call from one of the
Underwriters.
reps.
Or-
It was
yeah,
one of the
sorry.
reps at one of our carriers that we work with, and he was giving me an update about one of my policies, and then he goes, "And by the way, social media is just so funny. You showed up on my Facebook."
Well, yeah, that's why I called you. Yeah,
So
he didn't have any questions.
He was so kind
No,
to say.
yeah, I don't think he was being creepy.
No,
he was an
he
older
wasn't.
gentleman.
He wasn't.
He
He's
was-
yeah,
All
he was
right.
just sweet.
That
It
was
was like
really
kind
nice.
of like
Yes.
uncle vibes.
It was.
That
it
was
was
nice.
very pure
Yeah.
intention.
Yeah. Yeah,
but it made me laugh. It made me laugh.
Any man we've told her like that's creepy. And we're like, it really didn't seem creepy.
No, he asked me permission to follow me.
Sweet.
That was really nice.
No, he was very very
Well,
kind.
tell everybody your handle.
Yeah.
It's Catherine_Whitehurst.
Yeah.
So
And-
word is getting out that she's an influencer.
That's right. The accidental influencer.
The accidental
Exactly.
influencer. I like that. I like
That's
that.
how your bio, maybe.
Yeah.
There we go. I
Yeah.
need to redo it anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
All right. So we also, you came through Next Level Experience.
I did.
And why'd you do that?
Well, you convinced me.
I did?
First and foremost. I did.
I did?
It must not have been that hard of a convincing.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So yeah, okay. Tell us about your journey because you knew us, which is not everyone knows us. You know, some people do, some people don't. And you came in. What was your yes for going, and then how did you prepare yourself to go? Because watching your journey, you did an excellent job of just really being open to whatever God had for you, and that's like the best. If we tell anyone anything about before you go into NLE, just be open. And you did a really, really good job of that. So
Thank you.
tell us why you went.
Well, it was fantastic. You all did a really
Thank
great
you.
job of creating an environment that was safe to do that. So that's incredible. So yeah, I knew you all before, and then Michael said, "Hey, I have this thing. It's this Holy Spirit immersion that's not for the snowflakes." So I was like, "Okay, this is interesting."
That's you. I'm not a snowflake. I'm
This is
in.
interesting. And so that's exactly what I did. Was I didn't know what to expect because it was, we didn't know a whole lot about it going into it. And so, but I'm grateful for that because not knowing enough about it is what allowed me to not think too much into it before coming.
Yes.
And so,
do you tend to think too much?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of it.
Okay.
I'm learning
That's
to
good.
not. I'm learning to not overthink. I think moving down here was something that just really sparked a whim on that. But
makes sense.
one of my philosophies too, and I shared this with you the other day, Brianna. I think if you think too much ahead on things, it ruins the experience of being present in it.
True.
Wise.
Wiser words have never been spoken
And
before.
so, because I didn't want to create an illusion of what it might be or what it might not be because I didn't want to be disappointed. I mean, I wasn't disappointed, but like I didn't want to have this expectation for something.
Sure.
I just wanted to have completely blank slate and say, okay, Holy Spirit, do
And that,
your thing. I'm open.
And what you're saying is so profound because everybody says, "What's next level experience about, McIntyre? What is else about?" And I said, "Listen, we want you to come in and experience it for yourself for the first time without somebody's interpretation of it, right?"
Exactly.
It's a safe space. We talk about everything from Jesus, Holy Spirit. We talk about ups and downs. We talk about business. We talk about all things, and I share with my experience, and everybody gets to share. So it's a 2.5 day immersion, right? And it sometimes gets in your face, but sometimes we need that Holy Spirit kick in the butt, right? And it's to get unstuck, and it's really for people whose lives are working. Your life is working, but you wanted more, and that's what's really. And you had a great next level experience. And so if somebody's out there thinking, well, should I do that? What would you say to them?
I would say absolutely. If it's even a thought in the back of your mind, because here's the thing. Any experience like this, it's so unique. And so whenever you have a chance to put yourself in that situation, to say worst case scenario, it wasn't for you, fine, no harm done.
Right.
But best case scenario, you have a complete breakthrough. And then the trajectory of your life is changed at that point.
Forever.
And if that can happen in 2.5 days and you meet the people that are in that room, the people that you go through it with, those are like genuine lifelong connections that
100%.
even just past the NLE itself, the
Right.
people that you meet in that are next to none.
I'm trying to get Devin, our producer, to come in, and
Devin, you're gonna laugh. Devin will laugh, but he'll make everyone else laugh, which is a key component of an LE.
Silo, he could care less what we're doing. I never even knew Silo existed. I don't even know what Silo is, but I'll have to check it out. Because right now I'm watching Prodigal Son, and that's kind of weird right now.
Is
but
it?
Yeah, it is.
Not
but
even
it's
heard of it.
interesting. But whatever. I digress. Okay.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
you
No, you go ahead, daughter.
All right, so I know that you have been I don't know how to put it, ingratiated into the McIntyre you must watch TV shows.
Yes.
So
Yes,
little
because
bit-
when I talk to you, I don't watch anything. I don't watch movies. And what the hell do you do all day?
Now, what did you
what
do?
do? You study underwriting
She loves
charts?
to read.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Well, see, no, that's
No, it's really good.
no, it is really good. Listen, you're Stacy's dream.
Yes.
Okay, he loves to
That's
read,
so
and
funny.
I love to read too. But I also love to get lost in a TV show.
But
yeah.
part of that is the TV didn't make the cut in my Malibu when I moved down here.
Well, it was a Spartan move. You know,
Yes.
you had exactly what
Yep.
you needed.
I
Yes.
did. I
Yeah.
did.
How many? It's how many spoons or cups or what was that? That was the
Oh.
best post.
I have one spoon, one fork, one knife.
We're gonna
Well,
work
then
on that.
you're the minimalist.
She
Yes?
is. She is.
I live by myself. I don't need it.
She's
I
fine.
make it
Like,
as
yeah.
simple is better.
You
in my
could get
opinion.
more, but you're
I could.
choosing not to.
You know, I could go to Goodwill if I need to, but
Yeah.
You
it's,
could, of course.
Yeah,
All right, I don't have to go to Goodwill. I can go buy a fork, but it's
yes, for
I'm
sure.
down. I'm down with that. I
So
tried to
just-
convince your mother. I just need one pair of shoes. But
Oh no!
I know.
No.
I mean, I was like,
No.
sacrilegious. Stand behind me, say.
Listen, he gets his shoes dirty so quickly, so we're like, you can't.
Yeah.
do this? I don't know how. I don't know what you're doing to get them dirty.
Attracts me.
You like to go jump in puddles or something?
Apparently, it's a puddle jumper. But anyways, okay, not to bring up your. So yeah, it didn't make the cut because you had a very limited amount of things that you could bring.
And obviously. I just didn't. Honestly, I didn't watch TV that
and
much
that's
anyway.
great.
And so I was like, oh.
Yeah, and so now
you do.
Michael has initiated.
You have me, but it's part of your teaching style, and I like it.
Yes,
I like it.
Thank you. I'm glad you do. That's good.
You're welcome.
Because it's going to get tougher. I just want you to know.
More episodes. More episodes. Faster,
how many
stronger,
hours can you
better.
binge watch?
I know you had to go back to Montana a couple times for some weddings.
Yeah, I did.
You know?
Yes.
And I said, listen, just get on there and watch these
on the plane.
On the plane. You got 3 hours of doing nothing. You know, staring out
That's
the window.
probably where she would study. No, Katie is incredibly disciplined, and I think that I'm sure y'all caught that from what she shared about her athletic career. But you see how strongly it translated, and you keep that focus. So when we came on, like when we did the merge of our teams and things like that, you were the only female in leadership. And what I really admire about you, and I admire so much, and you're so young, but so bright, and so, like there's so much that you have in you, and it's really a beautiful thing. But you came into this, or you were with all these men, okay, but you retain your femininity in that process. So, can you speak to that?
Ooh, absolutely. I think
while also remaining competitive, like you have, like that. There's a balance there. It's really cool.
Thank you. First off, that's a big compliment. I love working with men because the women are very competitive too. But I do feel like the way that men are wired, it's just the nature of it. I've always fit in with that. Yeah. I worked with men back in Montana. Like we called it the bullpen. Like I was the only girl back in the bullpen. It was amazing. They were like my brothers. So having that relationship has been really beautiful. But I also think that there's such a strength in being feminine, in that we're naturally soothing. So take sales, for example. Our voice is naturally soothing over the phone.
It is.
Yeah.
Men or anybody really
appreciates that.
It naturally lowers the guard. And so with that though, there's a caveat of sometimes women are maybe not as, it can be harder to hold your ground or be as
strong.
Bold. Yeah, be as strong and bold.
Yeah.
And so it's the balance of being strong in that femininity to say, yes, I am soothing, but I know what's best for you.
Amen.
And I know what I'm doing. And so it's asking the questions in the right way and in leadership too, in leadership and in sales.
Yeah.
It's a way of subtly guiding the conversation to say, okay, I see it this way.
Yeah.
I'm going to be soft in how I approach it, but also holding your ground in what you believe in and just guiding the conversation in a way where the two views align.
100%.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think we talked about this last week is it's okay to be boss. It's okay, right? You can be a leader and you can be a boss. And look, and I use this line a lot. Leadership is not about making everybody like you. Okay, being a boss doesn't mean everybody gets to like you. In fact, you're going to make a lot of decisions if you're a boss or a leader that's going to piss a lot of people off. Okay, and I always tell people if you want to be loved, go sell ice cream. Okay, because being a leader and a boss requires you to make some tough decisions, and those decisions are not formed by a committee; they're done by one. Right, and so when you do that, when you come in there, you measure. Like I always say, seek wisdom. It's good to ask for advice. Okay, measure once, measure twice, and cut once. And that if you stick by that, it's going to make a difference because you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. Like I said, I would rather have somebody make the wrong decision than no decision because making no decision is a bad decision. Because that is a decision, but go ahead and make a wrong decision, and we can fix it. But at least you put your butt on the line and did something, and you led, and that's what leadership is about. And I think one of the other things I wanted to say is, and I've said this to the other men on the team, is sometimes the best man for the job is a woman. And back in our old insurance company, I had the top 3 earners were in our management were women. Because they don't have the ego, they have a strong work ethic, and they're not prideful. They're about getting the job done, and whatever that is. And they're nurturing, too. They want to help bring other people up. So I'm glad you're a woman, and you're doing and
me too.
and you're doing fantastic in this business. So hats off to your mom and dad as well. because they obviously raised an amazing daughter. And Brianna, also, I love that, you've got now another female in this company here.
Yeah,
I'm
which
glad
is,
too.
Which is good, and listen, I was raised by a single mom, and I know that it's really hard for some in the male chauvinistic world. Not everybody's that way, but
Right.
there is that out
Right.
there. And so, and Stacy and I feel really strongly about that. And Stacy's a powerful woman too. And in fact, she's my coach. And I think somebody asked me, how does she coach you? I said, however she wants to.
It depends on the day and the hour.
That's right. And she's my fact checker. And then you're my fact checker as well.
Fact checker number
I think
2.
women have a gift of being graceful in the way
Yes.
that we approach things.
Yeah.
And so that and this is what I'm learning in, but still working on, is going back to that question of how do you stay in that feminine place? It's being graceful in your confrontation.
100%.
And it's being soft but strong in that same sense. So yeah.
It's really good.
That's
really
really
good. All right, so so to close out, I want to know, give me like 3 things that in your life right now that's really working.
3 things in my life. If I can give a broad term, being in Texas. Being
Come
in
on, Texas.
I feel like my heart is at home here, and
That's so
it's
good.
so beautiful. Even this morning, driving in, looking at the city and looking at the skyline,
just gorgeous city that we're in. No,
Wow.
I'm kidding.
I think it's
Wow.
gorgeous.
Well-
Well, I grew up in a town of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
I walked out my front door and there was a cow out like right there.
Right,
So
yeah.
it's a very different
Yeah,
environment.
we're low on cows here.
But 3 things that are working, I would say the relationships of the team that I have
It's good.
and the way that we communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The business itself,
Yeah.
fundamentally, that's doing well.
Yeah.
We have a really strong trajectory. I'm so excited about where we're going with this.
Yep.
And then being in Dallas, I would say on a personal level, the friends and the community that I've been able to dive into here has just been
Yeah, you're
so
hanging out at
welcoming.
Shoreline, right?
Yes,
You love Shoreline.
I do. I like Shoreline. I've visited Upper Room a couple times. I've got some friends there.
Yeah.
But the Faith Hustle Network is actually where I met a lot of my, and that's very intertwined with Shoreline, but
Yeah.
some incredible people there.
That's really cool. All right. Well, that's good. Brianna, do you have anything else?
No, I just appreciate you being a part of this whole journey. And as I get to know you more and more, like I said earlier, I'm astounded by your wisdom, the grace that you carry, and just, you have the ability, and I see you as a future coach. Like you will coach people into their highest and best. And so,
Yeah.
It's one of my dreams.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah,
I'd
and I
absolutely
think
love
and so we've got a next level coming up here September 11th that you're going to facilitate.
I am.
Yes, we're
Yes,
excited.
I will be there.
Because you
Yeah.
went through Leadership 300.
I did.
So that's
which is
good.
incredible.
You're going to get to see this on a whole different level. It's going to be really
I'm
cool.
excited.
Yeah, I am
I'm
too. I am
excited.
too. Well, thank you everybody for joining us here on McIntyre Inc., the Next Level podcast. We thank you, Katie. We thank you, Brianna. And those who are watching, subscribe, share with a friend. If you want to come and look at our program at our Life 10
Life and Legacy.
Yeah, we'll get it right. There'll be something in the call notes.
Yeah.
There will be
Or shore notes?
in the YouTube caption.
Yes, in the YouTube caption.
Or yeah.
And if you want to go to Next Level Experience, it's really easy. Go to nlenow.com and sign up. Doesn't cost you anything. At the end, you can pay it forward, whatever you think it's worth or not. All right. Well, thank you. And Jesus is King. God bless you. Amen.